everybody. So welcome to Coach's Corner again. This is our first episode of the new year.
Yay, New Year.
Yay, New Year. So normally, I'm sure that you see every other gym and business out there is talking about New Year's resolutions. We're not going to talk about that today.
We ain't about that today.
No, we're not. You're my hype man. He's my hype man today.
I got it today.
So we already talked about goal setting with you guys in one of our first Coach's Corner. So if you need to remember how to do that, go ahead and look back through the past ones. I think it was episode 2 or 3. But today, instead, we're going to talk a little bit about motivation, because I think a lot of us struggle with that, especially around the holiday season and throughout many different times of our training cycles. So when are times that you struggled with it?
Usually holidays. Holidays, or probably like right after a competition. Just don't want to do something, or I'd want to get into it too much too quickly.
Yeah, I think a lot of our clients have had that same issue too, our athletes, where they get out of a competition and they're like, oh, let's get straight back into the heavy weights, and that's just not how we work. But I know this holiday season, Ryan and I were just talking about how we made a plan beforehand that, our goal and priority for this holiday season is spending time with our family and each other. And so we knew our training would kind of take a little bit of a hit. That said, it did, kind of mess with our training a little bit, but we were okay with that. We don't have a meet coming up, and we knew that our bodies needed a rest and our minds. It's been a busy year for us, as I'm sure it was for you as well. How did you deal with not getting any training? 'Cause I know you hate that.
So I'm one of those people that wants to train every day, even if they shouldn't, even when you don't feel good. So this one was a struggle, but knowing that I'll come back a little bit more rejuvenated, not stronger per se, but I will be maybe a little bit less injury prone. Just kind of let me have something to look forward to, honestly. It kind of gave me a little bit of a push to let everything relax so that when I do get ready to come back into it hard, I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
There's no holding back. There's no hesitation.
And that's a big deal for us, especially as we're getting older, not to get injured, because it takes us longer to bounce back. Yep. So another thing that we've talked about is getting motivation and how to keep it. One way that we look at motivation is that we have 2 different sources that we're motivated by. These are external motivators and internal motivators. External motivators are going to be things that are outside of us that motivate us. So that might be getting a promotion at work, or getting first place at a competition, or just validation from our friends and family or spouse saying, you did great, I love it. Those are all external because they're from outside us. Can you guess what internal motivators are?
Something that comes from within us.
From within. Your heart's on that side, actually.
I didn't want to touch my heart.
So yeah, Ryan's right. Internal motivators are going to be the things that are for us, by us. So that might be a goal to get stronger. That doesn't have to do with the numbers on, somebody else's board, but more your own. So I have a plan to get 10 pounds on my squat.
So breaking your PRs.
Breaking your PRs.
PR.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it could also be because of satisfaction or enjoyment. And these are the things that are going to keep you motivated long term. External motivators are great in the short term. So we were just talking about personal trainers and how a lot of people are like, I need my personal trainer to push me all the time. That's an external motivator and will only work for so long. I want you to look back at the times you've worked with some trainers long term who only pushed you, and that was your main source of motivation. And I want you to really think about how long that motivation lasted. So eventually you have to find an internal motivator to keep going.
Yes, internal.
With your heart. Yes, yep. That's right. How do you think we can increase either of those?
That's a good question. You could probably find something that you can relate to more of, to constantly update your goals.
Yeah, that'd be a good internal motivator.
Yep, that's a good way. You can kind of look to yourself, basically, for that motivation. Why do you want to do it? Why is it important to you? How does it make you feel? If it makes you feel great, you'd probably want to keep feeling great, so that'd help you maintain that internal motivation. Yeah. And then external motivation, so if you're struggling with getting in the gym and getting started again after the holidays, that might be choosing an external motivator in the short term. So, Ryan always talks about music and how it really pumps him up. That's a great way to get your motivation up in the short term. But is that an external or an internal?
I think it's a little bit of both, honestly.
Because it's in here, but it's out here.
Yeah, that too. So those are some great ways to get started in getting back in there. If you notice your motivation slipping, that's when you need to really think about the internal things that really push you to enjoy your sport or exercise. I know a lot of us don't like exercise when we first get started, and so you got to find that reason to keep going. Yep. Well, thank you again for hanging out with us for another Coach's Corner, and I hope you enjoyed us trying to figure out how to talk today. And, as Ryan always says,
Like and subscribe.
bye.